If you're sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting for the housing market to crash before you buy, I want you to hear this. I've been in this business long enough to remember the exact same conversation happening before the pandemic, then again coming out of it, and every single time the people who waited paid more. Today I'm going to walk you through what's actually happening in the market, the 3 things that are not going to happen, and why waiting might be the most expensive decision you can make right now. I'm Kelly Pearson, realtor with Monument Realty, serving McKinney, Allen, Stonebridge Ranch, Craig Ranch, Star Creek, and the surrounding North Texas communities. My job is to cut through the noise and give you straight answers. So let's get into it. Let me start with something I've seen firsthand. Before the pandemic in 2018 and 2019, I had buyers tell me almost word for word, "Kelly, I'm going to wait. Prices are too high. The market is about to crash." Then 2020 hit and we all thought, okay, here it comes. But the opposite happened. Prices went up. Some markets saw 20, 30, even 40% appreciation in the next 2 years. Then we get through COVID, rates jump, and I start hearing the same thing all over again. I'll wait. Prices have to come down. And once again, prices did not crash. They stabilized. A few pockets cooled off slightly, but the buyers who waited 2 and 3 years are now looking at higher prices and higher rates. The math is not working in their favor. I'm not telling you that to scare you. I'm telling you because the most valuable thing I can do as your realtor is help you see what's actually happening, not what fear is telling you is happening. There are 3 big things I hear from buyers over and over right now, and the data tells a different story on all 3. Let's break them down. The first one is, what if I buy now and then a flood of inventory hits the market and prices drop? It's a logical fear, but the data does not support it. Yes, inventory has been rising. We're up about 4.6% year over year as of April 2026. But here's the context most people miss. We are still 12.5% below pre-pandemic inventory levels. Look at this. The 2026 line, the white one at the top, is still well below the 2017, 2018, and 2019 lines. That is not a flood. That is a slow, steady normalization back toward healthy levels. And there are 2 reasons it's happening this slowly. First, most current homeowners are locked into mortgage rates in the 3s and low 4s, and they are not giving those up unless they absolutely have to. Second, the average homeowner has gained around $128,000 in equity over the past 6 years. That is not the profile of a market about to be forced into a sell-off. So when someone tells me they're waiting for prices to drop because inventory is going to explode, I have to be honest. The data just doesn't back that up. The second thing I hear constantly is, I'll wait until rates drop back into the 3s. I need to be straight with you. I do not see a scenario where we go back into the 3s or 4s. Those rates were a once-in-a-generation event tied to a global pandemic. They are not coming back. Here's where rates have been since January 2024. We peaked at 7.22% in May of 2024. Right now, we're sitting at 6.30%. That's actually the lowest we've seen heading into a spring and summer market in the last 3 years. And every major forecast, Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, Wells Fargo, they're all projecting rates settle into the low 6% range through 2027. The average projection has us at 6.28% in Q2 of this year, drifting down to about 6.16% by the end of next year. That is the new normal. Back, the smarter conversation is, what does today's rate cost me? What does waiting cost me? And what does long-term equity look like? Because the real risk isn't buying at today's rate. The real risk is sitting on the sidelines waiting for yesterday's market. The third one is the most emotional. Prices went up, so they have to come down. I get it. We watched home prices run up 40 and 50% in some markets. It feels like a correction has to be on the way, but that's not what the data is showing. Even in the markets where prices have dipped slightly, context matters. The number one market for price declines right now is down about 5%, but it went up roughly 75% over the previous 5 years. That's not a crash, that's normalization. Looking forward, the Fannie Mae Home Price Expectations Survey, which polls more than 100 economists and housing experts, is projecting steady, moderate appreciation every year through 2030. 1.83% this year, 2.40% next year, building back up to 3.42% by 2030. That's not a crash. That's a market returning to historically normal appreciation. And every year you wait, the home you want gets more expensive, not less. Let me pull it all together. If you wait a year, here's what the math is actually doing to you. The home you want is likely 2 to 3% more expensive. Your mortgage rate is probably within a quarter point of where it is today. And the equity you would have built in those 12 months is gone. That money went into someone else's pocket, either your landlord's or it just disappeared into the wait. Now, I'm not saying everyone should buy today. If your job is unstable, if your savings aren't there yet, if your life situation isn't clear, wait. Those are real reasons. But if you're waiting for the market to crash, for rates to hit 3%, or for prices to drop dramatically, the data is telling us pretty clearly that is not happening. And the longer you wait for those things, the more expensive your decision becomes. Here's how I think about my role. A good doctor doesn't promise you a perfect outcome. They gather the best information available, give you their best recommendation, and then keep adjusting as new information comes in. That is exactly how I approach this job. I'm not here to predict the future. I'm here to give you the clearest, most honest picture of what's actually happening so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So if you're sitting at home watching headlines, hearing friends talk about waiting it out, wondering whether you're making the right move, let's have a real conversation. Bring me your situation. Bring me your numbers. Tell me what you've heard, and we'll separate what's real from what's noise. If you're thinking about buying or selling in McKinney, Allen, Stonebridge Ranch, Craig Ranch, Star Creek, or anywhere across the surrounding North Texas area, I'd love to help you think it through. You can book a free home value review at kellypearsonrealtygroup.com or call or text me directly at 720-281-3640. If this was helpful, give it a like and subscribe. I put out content like this every week to help you cut through the noise. And in the comments, tell me, what's been holding you back from making your next move? I read everyone. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video.